Hey, welcome back to the Frank Driscoll Show. This is another great topic, something that I've incorporated, and I think you're going to find this very, very valuable. So, this is what I call the minimum standard, right? And what kind of prompted this was when I was doing coaching calls with people, sometimes they were not hitting all of the goals that we had set. And I said, okay, this is what I need you to do. We're going to have a minimum standard of excellence, so like that no matter what happens, no matter how crazy the day gets, no matter how much we're not feeling like doing it, right? We're putting forth the effort. We will put forth the effort no matter what to hit what I consider our minimum standard. And a lot of times you'll think about this. This will activate when you have a certain amount of money in the bank, when you don't have enough deals in the pipeline. It will come into place when maybe you haven't done all the things that you need to, right? We're not earning a certain amount. We're getting below a certain level. All of a sudden, this kind of survival instinct kicks in that, okay, we've got to do something. We've got to take action, right? And whatever that is, sometimes we go all out, but we're going to start to hit at least this minimum standard. Sometimes if our weight gets up too high, right? We're like, all right, I got to go to the gym. I got to cut back, right? There's usually some kind of threshold that's hit, and then it causes an action, a fear or something inside that says, okay, we got to do it. So, in order to not get there, so we can maintain at least something, right? I call this minimum standard. So, for instance, for physically, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, even if I don't feel like working out, even if I'm tired, if I haven't slept, whatever. I'm going to at least get 20 minutes of cardio in. Okay. I don't really care. It could be at least at 3 miles per hour. It could be at least a one incline. It can be higher. It can obviously be more. Sometimes I've done it where I'll start at that and then I go for 45 minutes, right? Get a fast pace or intervals or whatever. If it's like physical sets, lifting, I'm gonna at least just do one body part till failure, right? So my minimum standard might be okay. I might only do one set, but I'll probably just rep out to failure of whatever weight it is, and I'll just go through. A lot of times, I'll just go through all the different, a full body, and I can do it really quick with one set. And I feel like for me, it feels like 70 to 80% of if I'm doing multiple sets and all of those things if I go to failure. So that's kind of my minimum standard, on a workout day or if it's cardio or if it's a double. Just no matter what, I like to get that in. And because I have, the weights at my house, I really don't even have to go to the gym if I have to. Now, for work, okay, the minimum standard for me, right, that I'd probably have for you guys is at least one social media post, right? You got to put yourself out there, throw something out there that potentially can either add value or get something, a call to action, something where it could possibly spark. For myself, it's been this way a long time. It's at least 10, but I've probably done like, much closer to 25, 50, or 75, over the last couple of years. So there's different levels, but I would say 10 would be my minimum standard, right? So no matter what, I'm going to get at least that many posts out. And it's going to be, what I'm building towards, as you're seeing, try to at least get one video out. Later, this is going to increase, but for right now, just get out something, right? It might also be when I was fully active, right, in my real estate and sales career, it was always at least 1 hour of prospecting, no matter what. And that would usually yield a lot of opportunities. So that'd be my standard. And then I would have the other areas. So it might be at least reaching out to three, past clients, right? Or three in your sphere. Uh, just whatever it is at the minimum level. If you're just not feeling it, it's okay. We're gonna have some of those days, but create whatever it is your minimum standard and hold yourself no matter what. That is the line. Nothing is going to get past you at that point, right? Even if it was study, like for school, my minimum standard was to at least review, study in each area for at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes, when I was in school, just to help so that I wouldn't get far behind. So whatever it is, gosh, at least spend 5, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour if it's a really important activity, half hour, 3 calls, whatever. Figure out what that's going to be and hold yourself to it. That's your drop dead, that's your fallback position. And here's what's going to happen once you establish this. Now you're going to have a certain level that you really don't fall behind, that you're really always progressing, that you're really always getting opportunities. What's worse is if you don't have that, now you go for a couple days or weeks or months where you really aren't putting forth hardly any effort. And now it's going to get to a crunch time that pushes you. But a lot of times it's too late. It's really hard to recover and scramble. So, to try to survive at that moment. So put that minimum standard that you're doing now. Now, here's the second part of this. Okay, it might have started for me at like 1 call or one this, but it slowly raised. Well, you want to take your minimum standard and just move it up just one more level. So right, so if cardio was 5 minutes, let's say as an example, after you've done that for a while, that's your minimum standard, raise the bar. Move that to 10 minutes, right? You're just going to do 10 minutes, right? Or 10,000 steps or however you're going to calculate it. If your minimum standards, I'm just going to make 1 call no matter what, come hell or high water, I will at least call one person, right? Move that to 2. Okay, once you've done that, and if you're wondering like how long, basically once where it's comfortable, where it's not a challenge. It could be a week for some people, it could be a day, it could be a month, it could be 90 days. I don't really care. You pick what's comfortable to you. But once it becomes like, I got it, move it up. Move it up until it eventually gets to a higher level. It doesn't have to be your absolute best, but you will make sure that that is now your new minimum standard. And then what happens is that's kind of your new minimum standards of success, right? Like there's a lot of people, at least I see going to the gym. Well, they're always in great shape. They're always eating healthy. They're doing those things because their minimum standard, even on off days, they're still performing at high levels. Myself as a caller, even my off days, I was always setting at least 3 appointments. I can't even think of a day that I was calling that I didn't have 3 appointments set for some time. Now they didn't always show up, right? We're going to have a certain percentage, that is not going to show up. That's okay. I know if I'm putting in that standard, I'm going to get the opportunities. And that's going to be the same thing with creating content, right? If I'm here every day, at least doing one video, I'm going to win over time. And the same thing in all of your activities. So please adopt this. Put in the comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Put in what your minimum standard is, or at least what you're going to start right now, that what you're going to do and take action and be committed to it. Even if it starts small, even if it's just one, right? If it's whatever you can do, right? Just do it. It's going to totally start to build and change. And I promise you that by having that versus not having it, you're going to start to win over time. All right. Hopefully you like this. Make sure you subscribe, comment. Super, super appreciative you being here every day with me. And I'm going to continue to try to improve, get better, and increase my minimum standard. We'll talk to you guys on the next one. Take care.